Let's go, literature. What bridge? Oh, okay.
The shaggy hit.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks. My associates. I haven't got much to say about them. Sorry.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later.
The large-headed youth has closed his eyes, lost in the music. Sensing you, he opens them.
Good morning, Tycoon! Yeah!
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
A great excitement is bubbling to the surface within him. This is big.
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready?
I'm ready.
Wow! Here's that! The signs match perfectly! Now, if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper!
Intriguing. The way I see it, Van Eyck based his remix on some famous original piece, like a folk song, something local. Seems you found an initial part with the main melody.
I think it's just happenstance, chaos in action, contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well. Something mysterious is going on here.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits! Bring up the volume!
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
Yo, the warrior! The warrior of dance music!
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore!
Boop, 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 boop. Oops. Okay, trash. I don't even know what this does. Cam! Hey, there it is.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring. The reeds bend forlornly toward the water. Some tufts have been crushed. The broken stalks sickly pale against the darkness. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. All locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. Surely.
Hey, good to see you. So what's happening?
I'm just gonna kind of skip through this.
He
'cause I
says
listened
it
to
with
it already.
good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on
That's the spirit. Sadly,
this guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to
we... Okay, we're drinking. So now it's a It definitely... Oh,
No, you sure don't.
maybe.
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
Mm-hmm. Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila Sunset rolled in... Hey, you got here on Friday. Word on the...
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as...
Hey, man. Either way, one moment...
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard.
No, I died talking to him,
Naturally,
and then I
loud noises
said,
pique
"I'll
the
deal
interest
with
of
him
anybody
later."
owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Anyway, sounded like someone jumped the canal. What we saw was a sight to behold. The time hath come for Tequila Sunset. The end of... Yeah, we ran to... When we finally recognized... We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now, and insisted that we all call you that from... I'm not... No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real... Ours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then at some... How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad.
Wow,
Yeah,
if you only knew.
you were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
See, that's what killed me before.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
Shut up.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve. You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you.
That's me.
You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid." It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
You might get scammed here.
Booze. Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? Not much, but it will do.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail!
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours. It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded. his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Ouch, indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key. I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office. I rang my neighbors' buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on.
What?
I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice, too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending your days picking tear. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old... Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style. It's a big world out there, Tequila. Lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing Faun, like some low-concept bicycle courier. Tell you what, Tequila, why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket someday.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about. I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style. It's, well, a little eclectic, don't you think? How would you even describe what you're wearing?
Eclectic is for pop music with indigenous percussion. You're a sartorial maverick.
Well, I can't say it doesn't fit you. Still, you might try branching out a little. You know the expression, the clothes make the man. The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the case. Let's go.
If I was wearing the cop outfit, he'd like it.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deal? So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. In the civilized world, it's a custom to...
What are you knowing? Know what? Oh, okay. I was like, I don't want booze. Goodbye.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes. Pissable Pilsner. Drink. See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know, it's funny, actually.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What? This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of hell. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me £4 to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead things. Like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for £3 if you want it. Yeah, be careful. It's extremely flammable. One spark and the entire city of Revachol is wiped off the map.
Then I need to confiscate it from you as a police officer.
Feels like someone set a mustard field a blaze right inside your nose, then drenched it in tear gas. Your nose is a singular source of pain, but at the same time, you don't remember the last time you felt so alive. In all fairness, that might be attributed to the retrograde amnesia.
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits or not? 3 real and...
That's a much more reasonable price right there. This is the trap Morel just set. The reeds hiss and shake in the darkness that has settled over the abandoned camp. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise... Yes?
This trap's not too hot. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez's sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
The lieutenant also nods. The lieutenant is nodding so hard it looks like his head is about to snap off his neck. The lieutenant matches your nodding pace. He's a true professional at this. The nodding's reaching critical mass. You can't take this much longer, Captain. A small bead of sweat runs down the side of the lieutenant's face as he maintains his nodding. As the lieutenant takes out her handkerchief and softly taps the sweat off his temple, a faint crack echoes through the coast. Abort! Abort! No. Shit, it's too late.
Busted the neck, did you? Glad I stopped when I did. My neck was really starting to hurt. Don't worry, little man. Now, we should get going.
I was like, why is Kim humoring me in this ridiculous behavior?
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. No movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What about the bullets? Holes. That's a trace.
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them. Comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty. Murderers, twisted by orders, young boys forced into killing. The commandant, the one who gives the order, machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries. Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Brow. Brow. You can do it, pal. I thought I was done talking to this lady, but you said I have more stuff, so I'm gonna look. Oh my god, please.
Yes, no response. He's having trouble processing. A moment passes.
Yes, what is it? I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means.
Like love.
I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
I'm working.
Oh.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core, the light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do, and you're not helping.
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps. No, I don't. Because I needed something good for my investigation, and RAIN Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards, so I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIN prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see REAM prefects in every police department, for example.
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIN Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIN Civic, so it's kind of a ripoff. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain. They are connected to my RAIN Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Great. The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks. What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music. This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Put your hands where I can see them.
She got her titties hanging out.
Show me your hands. This is the pace. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
This is bad. Getting your weapon back is the priority. We can't have an unhinged civilian running around with a gun.
Comply, or I will light you the fuck up! Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress! I am the police. Don't move! Don't move! Suspect is on the loose! Suspect at large! Officer, administer street justice at our own peril. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required. Suspect is under control.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
Okay. Calm down, buddy. I'm gonna let you out.
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing a firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Officer, you need assistance! Suspect at large! Get on the ground!
Man, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this. What happened to make her like this? Yes, sure, but also in a less abstract way. the neurodegenerative disease I mentioned earlier. The woman looks at you, but through you, like you don't exist. Her eyes gleam feverishly, and the rotating police beacon lights reveal deep scratch marks on her cheeks. Recent, self-inflicted. Sometimes when things get very bad, it's good to remind yourself that you have a body by scratching it.
This is the police! Unlawful engagement! Hands on the ground! Scumbag!
So that's how Kuna West must have felt, right before you fired a shot at her.
Fascinating. See, this is what happens when we are not around.
It's a goddamn police shitbag! Hug the pavement! You're under arrest!
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs? She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer, a lower-ranking police officer.
What? Sir?
Easy. Press her too hard and shit.
With a swift, poorly coordinated move, the woman slams the megaphone against her lips and teeth. A trickle of blood runs down her chin. She doesn't notice it.
Officer compromise! Unlawful impersonation! Pigs en route! Engage your will!
Okay, she's actually more agitated now. My bad.
Confiscated contraband! Restricted access! 2 kilos missing! Eyewitness report compromised!
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
No. No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth.
Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Azimuth!
It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there would be blood. She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her in his sights.
Suicide by cop! Split-second decision! Eat lead, scumbag!
For a moment there,
I was 80% sure the gun is empty, and still the instinct almost took over.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated. Grab the gun right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
I don't think she actually... You're right, of course. This could have...
He's trying not to think about how bad it could have been had the gun been loaded.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8. and loneliness. Yeah, looks like a bad case. But the question is what to do with her right now. I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late, and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone. She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more.
I know, I'm gonna let you out in 2 seconds.
The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. The lieutenant nods. The old woman doesn't react to your touch.
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Courant or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig.
Whatever you do, do not admit to these punks you lost your gun. You will...
No? Well, whatever then, Copper.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with? Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know? Was, like before, just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know.
She found
Anyone
grass.
know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? No, I didn't. Because I'm not fucking stupid, Polizonte.
Yeah, Carl. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs level weird. But whatever gets you through the day. Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
No problemo, cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
Okay, Hardy boys, you little child detectives, huh?
Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. They want to laugh at his jokes even before they leave his lips. This guy is a born leader.
Listen, Titus.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
You're just a little hungry guy.
Smart boy. You go do that.
Tremble. The time is now. Taola. Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream. Ulogu Theodos, Xeno Zausin, Ipoli Osidien, Echondes Fronisin. Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time, Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself. It's totally also a coping mechanism. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
Okay. What a cute little hat.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Large prints, most likely made one person. Shoe sizes, of course. Damn.
Between that and that.
Everything around you is quiet.
So just told me how to pronounce her name. Loaded too fast.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
She puts her coffee cup down.
The day long tripped her via 3. I don't know what that means.
With a soft ring. As
You
the
starting this
porcelain
already?
meets the metal table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Weird.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. Sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Except for Meat when he squishes Snooter. Bishi does. Bishi makes noises. Sap's very quiet. Except for screaming. He gets scared, he runs in the box back there and then screams. They also have like different freckle patterns on their ears because he's has like whatever. Obviously, like I don't think it's melanin, but whatever makes him darker, he's got more dark spots on his ear. And then really light and beige chinchillas, their ears are like super freckled, but they're like not dark freckles like he has.
Maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full Hoi in her.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her, that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Yes, you're just one room away. Very personal.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like...
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but It was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
What? You want me to stand up?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was Occidental, not Mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes, we were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No, he was too old for that. And from another part of Oranje, I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together was in Oranje. It was bad habit.
No love for Mother Oranje, but wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
Oh, because he doesn't like to walk down the ramp all the way, I guess, and the box is blocking where he normally jumps.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man, a people person, a small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot. There is nothing on Moindi.
Uh-huh.
The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too. He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points sound good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
Okay, sure. Here you go. What else are we missing, officer?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
Quite a lot, yes. Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Oranje's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranje's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. killed some loincloths. And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Semenine Islands, and on other islands too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Change of topic, perhaps? It very well could be, yes. What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. That's not funny, officer.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change. All right, let's see where this is going.
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours
Yeah, I see you.
more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
Huh? How old? 58? Actually, make that 54. Alcoholism has severely impacted your appearance. And I was wrong about the age of the deceased.
Wait, this requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow.
This is Precinct 57. How many? Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
The lieutenant leans in to listen.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
According to Klasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Semenese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Semenine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity, about giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering.
That's 7 Gorillion skills, yeah. I mean, I got them all. What should I do with them? I already washed the coat.
Hi again, Gendarme. You can keep it. I don't mind. How cunning. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right? It was all right. Subdued. I might start letting people up there again. Now, what can I do for you? Another thing. Great. I love those. What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing. I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling. It's a sign of the Whirling in Rags not being part of the doomed commercial area. If anything, we're revitalizing this neighborhood.
Relax, Mr. Gart. I'm sure there is no doom. He simply wants to share his discoveries with you.
Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost.
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
Yeah, it's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area. Yes, your police skills have delivered. I'm sure you'll get a commendation, maybe even a promotion. Some real estate management company, they never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
There is an acrimonious note. It's clear he's doing the real work around here.
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song. Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
You're guessing there aren't that many others.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help.
Against the doom, it's implied.
So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up? Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she? Anyway, I'll forward that woman her bill and be done with it.
Where
Now,
does she go to
is there
sleep?
anything else?
Where does Lena go to sleep?
Yes.
Does she just sleep in her chair? Where is Lena? Where does Lena sleep?
Hi again. So, how are things going?
And? What happened? Oh man, the crab man you mean? Who is he? What did you think?
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church? No matter. Is he going to be a problem?
Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we going to do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? I guess it's not a massive problem now that
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light. Yeah!
I think I'd Hide is my favorite.
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will you trust? A spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
Feel the love! Get down and feel it!
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she see? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea.
What?
Yeah, Oda 9. Rocking it or dropping it. Come on, man.
Feels a...
A half-hearted sell of...
You'll get there, believe. Anyway, now that it's set...
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
And you can't just evict her?
Look at you, honour man.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround.
What?
We can make a deal not to bother her.
Why are you looking at me like that, sir?
If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist! Coexist!
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think? Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Yes. What? It's for starting engines, man.
Is the amiable speed freak becoming a bit cross with you? Sounds like it.
What's with the goddamn Romangarod earrings? It's cold. The fluids for the generator.
Keep on it, sire.
I guess it does. No idea, man. The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No.
He sniffs the air. A shrug is good enough for us. Why say it when you can shrug it? He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Goodbye, officer.
Apricot chewing gum scented one. August 2nd, early late summer. You're getting off the streetcar in Le Jardin, east of the river. Her father and mother are middle class. The nylon of her little jacket rustles next to you in the dark like autumn leaves. Her heels click on the pavement. You're walking up to the gate in front of her parents' house. She takes out her chewing gum and you kiss her. A feeling like electricity flows through your whole body. Immediately, you know that you've entered a completely different world. A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Sometime in the past, I'm not sure when and where, but betrayal was involved. I feel sick. Becoming the shadow you see now. But before that, I have reason to believe I was a police detective. What?
But you still are.
What happened?
That's a real downer.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here. I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing. I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine. Almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether. No shit. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true. What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
Really? You wanted to just ask me about something else?
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again. Then
Look
finally
at you, standing
raises
like a little
his
man.
hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into
Who's
the
a little
wickedest club in
baby?
East Weathersholt.
Zapata woke up from his nap.
Because we are! We totally are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man, they're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
So, what now?
This is it. Judgment time.
Yeah!
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance. There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
Goodbye, officer.
I'm the best. This poor girl.
Hello again. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them? Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Pip, pip. Meep, meep, meep. Pip, pip, pip.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter. It's the failure of Fortress Accident.
That's right. If we couldn't get our Welkins to happen, I don't want anything to happen. Ever again.
Oh my god.
There's not a trace of irony in her voice. She means it. Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
All right. Bring me the game's offside copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. No, that's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it.
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an abandoned cubicle.
Okay, but still. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament.
Hold on. If it's called an offsite copy, then why is it still on site?
Oh God, not this again. It is not on site. It is in the basement. Perfectly safe and not connected to the front at all.
Basement? Sounds like it's technically still on site.
And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. There's nothing wrong with keeping the backup in the basement. What happened was a freak accident that has nothing to do with how the backup was stored. We clear?
This is clearly a painful topic for her. She must have had to explain herself.
Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it. In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes. It's impossible to miss. You just need to get the offside copy from the ice bear.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
Wait, a note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
Wait, what? Whose dead body?
You know, we don't actually have to tell the entire world about the fridge.
Whose body is it? And what is it doing in the fridge?
It's almost as if she feels some sort of ownership of the fridge.
You put it there?
You good?
You put a dead body inside the ice bear fridge. Okay. Very cool. Thanks for keeping me in the loop.
What do you want? You want to jump out? Don't do that, please. What do you want? Are you good or not?
We would appreciate it if you kept this knowledge to yourself, miss.
Who would I tell? My mother? I don't have anyone to tell. And if I did, I wouldn't. I don't care. No.
In his defense...
Let me repress
okay,
that.
But still. This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing.
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means. Of course not. Anyway, I don't have my keys anymore and she won't let me in. Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil. It doesn't emit, it receives. You sound just like her. She started praying when she first saw my rain. Turned to higher powers.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. Thanks. And here's my Carlson's multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can keep the Carlson.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Kavalsund.
This old lady's still out here? What's wrong with you, lady?
It's getting cold this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, officer.